All right, guys, it is Monday, and as part of our weekly video series, guys, we like to do our live stream. Shout out to the stream sponsors, guys, over at CoinCatch. They are the perpetual exchange of choice. They're what I use for my trading. If you guys have any questions, I know a lot of you guys use them as well. Please reach out to me, and we can kind of get those answered. And then Breakout Prop. We do have a final giveaway going on with Breakout Prop. I will be updating you guys over in the Telegram on who won those free evaluations. But Breakout Prop, shout out to them. They are the prop firm, in my opinion, that's probably the best within the crypto industry. Instead of using your own capital, you can kind of use someone else's and kind of learn that way instead of using everything that you own. Head on over to Breakout Prop and CoinCatch, and they will take care of you guys no matter what. As far as NPOC levels goes, right, so we had a couple longs, right? We had this long here, and really this has been from last month, right? And this was kind of when price action was up, retesting those highs, right? And this was right when we were at like that 88K area when a lot of people started to get bullish again. I told you guys, remember, we do want a retest of lower. We wanted a retest of 8347. Now, does that mean that we bounce exactly at 80,347? No. Kind of got like a lot of shit on this saying that price level didn't hold and basically was irrelevant, right? I guess you could say it's irrelevant, but at the same time, what did it keep us from doing, right? It kept us from longing up at the top. You know, it kept us from longing at the top because we knew that we had lower NPOC levels to kind of get a retest of. And we got them, again, a little bit lower than we would have liked, although I did kind of talk about how it was possible on certain scenarios based off of, you know, something like this where we get that wick down, kind of acceptance back in, and then we can continue up higher. We did get that wick down. Now, the big question is, are we going to continue higher? You know, I'm not sure. There's still a lot of weakness. There's basically a lot of uncertainty just because Trump really has a chokehold on the market right now, guys. Whatever the fuck he wants to say can happen. I don't know what happened as far as, you know, the tariff news being leaked on like a pause, a 90-day pause or whatever. You know, I have kind of been on the side that tariffs will be lifted at some point, and that'll kind of make retail be interested in markets again. But as of right now, that still hasn't happened. Maybe they get paused for an extended period and then they get lifted down the road. I don't know. But as far as technicals go, we're still kind of just looking at this area to still be potentially, you know, longing into. You know, that being said, we've kind of talked about that, right? 82 and 74. You know, this is a wide gap that we've kind of been averaging into, right? So this is kind of what I talk about on saying, like, you know, you have to really be patient with these trades. They're not going to work out right away. You know, some people want to put a resting bid at this NPOC print, it hit, and then go in the opposite direction and they're up thousands of dollars. Well, fortunately, it just doesn't work that way. And so for me, you know, knowing that we did have a little bit of downside possible, you know, that's kind of why I was taking profits. The one thing I really wish that I would have done was shorted this 88K. We had this setup based off NPOC prints. I know people that took this short. I did not take this short. Why? Because I'm hedged from higher. There's really no reason for me to add on some shorts. Again, could have been a little bit more active on maybe trading it on a different time frame, that sort of thing. But this was a great rejection. It was a great short entry. Right at 88K, we rejected, got a retest. You had two opportunities to kind of get short within that before we got that move to the downside. We also had another rejection off of an NPOC print, which is why I took the hedge that I did all the way up at this level at that 105. Got a retest of this 105K and ended up closing it. And then that was where I ended up putting on my short hedge. So again, the hedge isn't a lot, right? It's not outweighing all my losses, but it is nice to have a little bit of a safe haven there, hedged on both BTC and SOL for now. I don't really plan on closing those. The way that I would like to trade them is just kind of round tripping them and let the longs kind of outweigh those and kind of give back everything to the short side because it's just kind of a hedge there against all the long exposure that I have. So again, as far as NPOC prints, guys, not really looking at too much, right? We've kind of just dug into that 75K. Again, did not really want us to dig this low, but it's happening. And so what do? Do I get afraid of seeing a little bit of red on my positions, or do I kind of accept it, know that I have dry powder on the side to continue to dollar cost average and stick to these setups? And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Now, someone was asking about short positions. This isn't where I'm really going to be putting on any shorts. I'm just going to be honest, right? The play is kind of unfolded. I did hedge a little bit. I could have hedged a lot more. I could have been a lot more active within the shorts. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. This is where we currently are within the markets, and we just kind of have to move forward. So as far as a short goes, I still think my short level still stays the same. I would short up at about that 86,863 area. That's kind of like a low term time frame current range, getting into that upper limit area if we did retest that 86,863. And so again, that would be a resistance point. Look to kind of be shorting that area, or at least taking profits from your longs, kind of the way that we've been doing it throughout this range initially, right? We ended up getting some long positions down at this low, ended up taking profits up at the highs, and then now we're kind of adding to those positions, kind of like those running trades, dollar cost in, dollar cost out. You take some profits on green days along with, ads on some of those red days. Equities is absolutely disgusting. Like crazy sell-offs. Some of the craziest sell-offs since like COVID, right? Which is wild because why? Nothing even happened. So 20% there. COVID was a 34%, right? So again, still has room for downside. I mean, if you're trying to compare one collapse to another, my thing is I think COVID and this are going to be very different. And here's why I think so. One, COVID was a V-shaped recovery. I think it was a V-shaped recovery for a very, very good reason, right? I think it was a V-shaped recovery because one, it was a lot of, impulse move. No one knew it was kind of coming. It was just kind of, this fucking disease that shut down the world, right? And everything kind of collapsed. But then everything kind of got bought up super quickly, V-shaped recovery, because of kind of the way that things started to unfold, right? Markets maybe reacted a little bit more than what they should have. And I think, very similar here to where if it does recover, it will be a V-shaped recovery. But I think it's going to be more something like this, right? To where it's like we have that wick and then we have some more drawdown. Maybe we match that 35%. Maybe we kind of close some of these gaps down here at 35, maybe 41, and then, we can kind of move. So again, adding to my narrative of it just not really being very quick. And so you don't want to be going like all in, thinking that it's a bottom. Again, patience within all this sort of stuff, patience within these markets. Into Ethereum here, guys. I just think like at this point, we're kind of just in our trades. We're kind of in our longs. We're kind of in like in our dollar cost average strategy, and so for me, the work has kind of been done, but Ethereum is just so fucking god awful. I don't even know how to like chart it anymore. It's just trash, literal trash, and it has to bounce at some point. And so, if you're patient enough, then it will bounce. We have NPOC prints, but there's been no reaction, all weakness. We haven't even really gotten a retest of levels to be shorting into on Ethereum. And that's kind of like been the shittiest part, is like we haven't even gotten any sort of retest to the upside. It's just been straight downside, right? Like we had a couple NPOCs left up here at 32, 2963, 26, and we got no retest to short into. So Ethereum's just been fucking hard. Still within it, still kind of trusting Vitalik with all of that. I don't know if I should, but at the end of the day, I still think that, these levels just are good opportunities. I mean, you got to think, you cannot ignore just how important Ethereum has been over the years, going into a 65% move to the downside within fucking 4 months, right? So tough pill to fucking swallow, right? Like just think about it. December, ETH was literally above 4K. Fast forward 4 months later, 65% move to the downside, 1,500. So tough times, guys, tough times. But, at the end of the day, I still think Ethereum is a good bid. I don't know what else to say. Like, what else are you going to do? Short here? I mean, sure. Like, let's just say you do want to short, right? I get it. Seeing how much weakness, like, let's just say you do want to short. We kind of talked about this setup. I mean, you could target like 1,200, 1,100, that sort of thing, like NPOC prints down here, 1,300, 1,200, 1,088 and, 959, that's where you could target if you do want to short here. But, again, my game plan still goes the same. I need some sort of retest to be shorting into. I can't just blindly short after a move like this, right? I want to see anything retest higher, but we're just not getting it. We're not getting the opportunity to short like I want to short, and it just kind of is what it is. Sometimes markets just don't work in your favor, and you got to kind of just accept it. We talk about ENA. ENA was another one that fell through, ended up closing that one for a loss. And again, it's just like, I just don't know, like, what are your plans with these entries? It's not going to go up like this. Nothing is going to go up like that. Even if Trump lifts the tariffs and becomes this fucking pro crypto guy, like nothing on crypto is going to go like this. So like, what are you looking to do with ENA is my question to you. Well, I think, yeah, of course, it has lows of about that 18 cents area. It already fell out of our first support zone. So again, I'm not in any rush to jump back into it. I took a loss on it. And again, maybe it retests this area, maybe it deviates from these prior lows, and then it can kind of start to move up in that area. So again, guys, it's going to take patience. I don't see us getting out of any of this shit anytime soon, unfortunately. Yeah, Sol's tough. I don't know. Like I said, yeah, we could come back down and retest about that 85. My make or break was 120. I thought 120 was that must hold area. Retest 180. Didn't happen. There's a collapse. Not really interested in longing Sol again after getting stopped out. So we'll see. This chart really fucking scares me. I don't know. Like, it's just crazy. Let's just talk about this logically here. The only structure that you want to see on Sol to continue, right, is this structure somewhat mirrors something like this, right? So that's the hope that we have going forward, as in thinking that this bull market still continues, right? Because maybe we're at this level right here where we get that. There's some support there. We kind of get that drop to an important support level, kind of like that 120, deviates a little bit below, whatever. And then we kind of have like this choppy action before, maybe something like this. And again, this is what I thought we could do off of 120. Maybe we dig a little bit lower into that 99, 98, 85 area before this happens. And then we get that impulse move. But again, what's your patience level on that? This is the structure. These are the structures that we have to be looking for, or that we want to be continuing to happen for price to go higher down the road, right? Because if we continue to collapse down to 40, I just don't see anybody being interested in crypto anymore. Like, literally, I just don't. I wouldn't really be interested in it. Like, at least trading it every day. But that's what I think for Sol, at least for that little hopium conversation that we can kind of have together, where the beginning of this structure is kind of the beginning of what is happening now. We need to see a bounce. We need to see some sort of relief. And then we can finally get that big move into, who knows when it is. Could be a couple years from now. I don't know. But I hope that these markets aren't really hurting you guys too much. I'm going to be doing some more giveaways over in the Telegram, just to kind of be helping you guys out. $500 here, $500 there. Thank you guys so much for everything that you continue to do. Thank you so much for being in my Telegram, following my setups, following along with my trades, all that sort of good stuff. Trying to do my best to keep you guys grounded and keep you guys level-headed throughout these market conditions. I know they're tough. I've lost money. A lot of people have lost money, so if you guys are losing money, don't be too hard on yourself. Just know that there is another side to these markets other than what we're seeing right now. So kind of stick through it. Thank you all for everything, and I'll see you guys over in the Telegram. Peace out.